let's see. We're going to go ahead and bring up the government wages and bring up the military wages. Tells us that we now have local police force. It will make the intelligentsia and rule court more radical, but also gives us the opportunity to suppress any revolts that may come up, and that's a good thing. All right, you see here we only have 3 laws that we can even vote on, and that's because we only have the one interest group in our government, and that's not particularly good. We're not. I don't think that including the devout is going to help us out much. We can see what they're in favor of by looking here. Well, actually, that would help us some because religious schools and charity hospitals. So we'll go ahead and we'll invite them into government, which we need to do that by hitting reform government, and we'll go ahead and let the devout in. Okay, we'll boost our farm further. That's very good. That's excellent. Okay, let's add the devout into here and confirm. Now we want the industrialists to do better, so we're going to go to industrialists and bolster. Hitting bolster will cost us its authority, but we have plenty. So we'll go ahead and bolster them. That way the industrialists will gradually gain in popularity until we can actually include them in the government. We're actually going to go ahead and do road maintenance here and road maintenance here because we have plenty of authority. And that's what those decrees require, is authority. Okay, we're going to go ahead and build a port in the vain hope that maybe somebody will want to trade with us. I find that rather unlikely, but you never know. We are building more tobacco, we're building bananas, and we're also building coffee plantations. In a game where you actually have a trade, you might want to use those for trade. But what we're using them for is just simply up the standard of living of our people so that they will breed more and we'll have more people. Here's the standard of living. You see it's kind of going up and up. That's good. That's what you want. You can see furniture is quite expensive. Having furniture available also improves the standard of living. So we're going to go ahead and get a furniture factory in the queue. Alright, we started going negative on the budget, so we need to find out why. Again, if we do a little bit of deficit spending, that's not a big deal. And wood is kind of expensive again. That could be one thing. Let's take a look at our budget. We're paying almost $4K for construction goods. So what I probably need to do is build more logging camps and go ahead and put them higher in the queue so that we hit those. Probably need to go ahead and hit those next. There we go. Austria demands that we submit to them and become their protectorate, and we're going to decline that offer. We don't need them. Actually, it probably would be worthwhile now to go ahead and improve relations with Austria, because they may be thinking, well, we need to go ahead and colonize those folks. So just to make sure that doesn't happen, we'll go ahead and improve relations. They can do stuff to stop us from improving their relations, but if they're not that big on colonizing us, then it doesn't matter. So just improving the relations will fix the problem. If they really want to colonize us, they can actually just break the diplomatic relations with us altogether. But if we improve their relations with them, then hopefully that will prevent them from wanting to conquer us. Now, it would be a good time to talk about war. A war in Victoria 3 is kind of hard and complicated, um, and it's kind of more than I want to go into in this video. But if we look here at our barracks, we have 10 out of 25 possible barracks. And we click on our flag here. That'll tell us we got 20 battalions plus 9. However, those battalions are like people with pointed sticks. We don't have any kind of gun manufacturers. We're not going to have any gun manufacturers because we don't have any iron. We don't have any trade, so we can't get things like guns and artillery. So in terms of our power, we're going to be pretty suck-ass. Let's take a look at our... yeah, we have plus 10 offense and plus 15 defense. As a contrast, Chile, I was just playing Chile very recently. I had like plus 35 and plus 45. So obviously, if someone like Great Britain, the British Empire, invades us, it doesn't matter. It wouldn't even matter if we had full levels of militarization. We're fucked because we don't have any kind of guns and we don't have any kind of artillery. So we're just going to have to depend on the fact that we're on an island and try to placate anyone who gets angry at us. Pretty much is our strategy towards war in this one. Okay, if you look here, all these industries and farms and stuff, you can improve them. Click on here. We could improve them by intensive grazing ranch if we had the right technology, and we could improve it to butchering tools, which we don't have any iron or coal, so we don't have any tools. Actually, I think we could make some tools without those things, but there would be a way to increase the throughput and how much stuff is produced by it. Let's take a look at our farms here, logging camps. We could again do sawmills if we had tools, and I think perhaps we can actually do tools. It's just we can't do them. We can only do like primitive tools, it's like stone tools, I guess. So we might want to go ahead and put tooling workshops on the list here. And then we can upgrade those other industries to use tools, but they're only going to be primitive tools. Now, when you get these events here, it's going to recommend that you do something, but that may not be the best thing. So, for instance, if we choose what they're recommending, you get minus 5% manufacturing industries throughput. And minus 1 for standard living for the Shona people, Shona ethnic group. If we do this, then the devout get less interest. Well, I don't give a damn whether the devout gets less interest. We're going to go ahead and do what's better for industry. So we're actually going to pick something different than what they suggest, and that may sometimes be the case. You want to pick something that is different from what they suggest. So you just have to look at it and say, well, do I care if the devout are less approved of? No, I don't. Do I care if industry is hurt? Yes, I do. So that's the way I'm going to go. Okay, I have a little budget shortfall. One thing you could do to take care of that is consumption taxes. And here you want to look at how much tax income you're going to get from it as versus how much authority it costs. So ideally you want something that has pretty good revenue, but relatively low authority costs. Let's see what else. Coffee. It's better to go with luxury items that only the rich will care about, but we need a little more income than that. So I'm going to go ahead and put a tax on tobacco. And once we get our deficit sorted out, we'll take that off, because it will reduce the standard of living to have that tax on it. Alright, it's telling us the North Madagascar Institute. Slaves have risen up in North Madagascar. We still have slavery. In not significant force ways and multiple ways of approach. So we get more radicalism. There's nothing good about that. At 60% of we get more slaves that are radicalized if I choose that one. Alright, we'll go with less people getting radicalized. The furniture manufactory we just built. Let's take a look at it. Here you see it's only using wood and fabric. The price of fabric is quite low, and we're bringing down the price of wood as much as we can. We don't have technology for lathes, so that's not a thing. And we don't have silk for luxury furniture production. Those are possible avenues if I actually get lathes or silk to improve production. Down here it tells you if you need employees, if you're minus employees, and you don't, obviously if you have a building that does not have enough employees, that's going to be a problem. Here we have very low unemployment. We have like 3 or 4 people who are unemployed. Having a few people who are around who are unemployed is okay, because that means that there's room for your next industry to hire people. But people being unemployed obviously reduces their standard of living and also increases radicalism. So there's that. To get tooling workshops built. Once we do it, I'm going to take a look at it to see whether it will actually function. Okay, right now all it needs is wood because it's like real primitive level of tooling. So we're going to go ahead and improve the tooling of the livestock branches by using butchering tools. That will increase the demand for tools, which will make that business more profitable and make this business more productive. Okay, our biggest problem right now is we're in a negative cash flow. And part of the reason for that is that wood is still too high. So we're going to go ahead and build another logging camp. Actually, we're going to build another level of logging camp. Basically, it's better to build increase the level of a logging camp than it is to actually build a logging camp if there is none. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Also, we have the budget shortfall. So I don't want to increase taxation or lower wages just yet. So we're going to go ahead and add another consumption tax. Let's see. Alright, so coffee is minus, requires 100 authority to do it. So we want to go ahead and kind of go with relatively low authority changes that require relatively little decrease to our authority. So we're going to go ahead and go with coffee tax. And as you see here, we're now in a positive cash flow. Alright, we're looking for something to build right now, and what we want to do is build something for which there's a lot of demand, like there's a lot of demand for clothing. So we're going to go ahead and add a level to our clothing manufacturer that will increase the taxes that it pays, and that'll help us with our budget issues. So we're going to go ahead and you see here the cash reserves bar is all gold. That means they're basically being used as much as they're to their maximum capacity. So I'm going to go ahead and add a building there. Let's take a look here. We don't really have any way of improving that or improving that. Or improving that, so we're kind of technologically stuck. So we just build more of them. We're going to build a port down here. The reason for that being, I'm hoping it'll give us the option After that, to put in a shipyard, which means that we can build our own boats, and so that means we can improve our fishing. Um, which right now we really can't because we can add more fisheries, but we can't improve the method that the fisheries use because we don't have any. We need to have clippers, which we can't build, and yeah, clippers and more other employees, but mostly we need more clippers. We can't build clippers right now, and so that's the problem. Um, and without clippers, we're going to find it hard to trade if anyone offers to trade with us. Right now, yep, nobody is trading with us, so there is no trade. All right, let's look for a minute at what our industries contribute to our tax levels, our tax income. If you look over here, livestock ranches, that tax is paid 60. What's going on here? Okay, good. Okay, thank you. Look here, the taxes paid are 60. On the tobacco plantation, the taxes paid are 184. Uh, 57, uh, 21, 16, not so great. So, all these things being equal, probably should add tobacco and plantations because they are profitable to our government. Um, so that's a good thing, that's what we want. Here, it pays pretty good. We'll go ahead and add a fishing wharf here. Go over here. It pays 78. Now, obviously, this is level 3 and this is level 1, so that's part of the reason why this one pays more taxes. But obviously, you want to develop the things that are paying more taxes per unit, per unit of development. What's ones that are paying more taxes. That way, your budget will be in the black instead of the red. Okay, I can build shipyards. The reason why you'd want to build shipyards is one, you need ships for trade, you need ships for fishing, and you also, if you're going to have a navy, you need ships for war. So let's go ahead and build shipyards. Okay, Portugal has begun to damage our relations. That is probably because they plan on invading us. Relation with Uganda. Okay, whatever. So they've been they're trying to damage our relations, probably because they want to invade, or they view us as a militarily threatening neighbor. Like, what the fuck? Like, we're at pointed sticks level. If Portugal is worried about us, then they've got issues. But they're probably not going to invade straight away. So we'll worry about that when the time comes. Okay, see here we're building paper mills. Why would I build paper mills? Two things. One is I can improve the urban center, which will improve services. Or increase the production of services. Once I have glassworks. Actually, I said it does not require paper. It requires glass. Okay, my bad. But also will allow us to build a university, because universities use paper. Also, improved methods of where's our government administration? We're going to improve government administration with the addition of paper. Okay, Spain is also wanting to damage our relations. So let's go ahead and begin improving relations with Spain. Reason for that being, that'll keep them from wanting to conquer us. Apparently, Portugal is undergoing a revolution right now. So probably they're not going to be invading me anytime soon, but you never know. But definitely when they start saying they're wanting to damage relations, that probably means they want the option at least of going to war with you. So you don't want that, especially if you're like, Madagascar. You don't want that. Okay, here's recommending that we discriminate against the Shona people, but we want not to have that hit to the manufacturing industry's throughput. So we're going to go ahead and do that one. Okay, I'm about to wrap it up right now, just in case there's anything that I didn't go over. Basically, politics is how you basically means to add laws, which change your various relations with your people or your industry or whatever. Right now, as I said, starting with Madagascar, we're an absolute monarchy, and there's very little chance that we're going to be able to change that anytime soon because industrialists are not strong enough as an interest group, um, and the intelligentsia is surly, so we want to think twice before including them in the government, and including something like the intelligentsia or the industrialists in the government when they have such low clout is going to impact our legitimacy, which will increase radicalization, and we don't want that. Okay, budget, obviously. You want to build industries that we're going to pay taxes and give you money. It's okay to run deficits for a little while. You want to avoid having this bar go red, more than about a third of the way up. But you also don't want to stockpile gold either, because stockpiling gold means that money is not being put to work in your economy. Buildings obviously are the foundation of your economy, and hence your tax funds that you can use for other things like going to war. Obviously, the important first thing is to develop on our livestock ranches and the logging camp, because that'll decrease the more of those there are, the more it will decrease the cost for you to build buildings, because building buildings requires fabric, which is produced by livestock ranches and also cotton farms, and that also uses wood. So the more you can push down the prices of those two things, the cheaper it will be for you to build, and so the more stuff that you can build. Market. If you see stuff here like clothes are pretty expensive, and also their demand is going up. So building more clothes factories would be good. Also building more furniture factories would be good. That means there'll be profitable industries that can pay you taxes, and you need taxes to do just about anything. Military we haven't really gotten into because Madagascar is a island nation, and also it doesn't have any iron or coal. Well, it has coal, but it doesn't have iron. So without iron, you can't build cannons. You can't build guns, rifles, stuff. So even though we have 20 regular battalions of men, there are 20 regular battalions of men with pointed sticks, pretty much, or at best they have muskets. And where they're getting the muskets, I don't know, because we don't have a way for them to get any muskets. So, but military is a whole other thing by itself. So is colonization. We can't colonize anybody because we're not adjacent to anyone to colonize them. Diplomacy, which for Madagascar basically means trying to keep people from conquering you, which you do mostly by improving relations. Portugal is actively damaging your relations. technology is pretty obvious. You need things like steel working to unlock tools for your different things. Also, we can unlock other things. Let's see what else. And it'll unlock sawmills for logging camps. So even though sawmills don't actually use steel, it unlocks sawmills for logging camps, which makes logging camps more productive. Each level of logging camp can do more, in other words. That's technology. Cultures. We have different cultures, and they have different levels of satisfaction with us. You can actually improve that by doing the promote national values. It causes these people, people like the Shona, to assimilate into the dominant culture, like the Malagasy. That's a good thing. But these interest groups are discriminated against. These three are discriminated against, and that can have repercussions. Population. You want your population to be happy, so they will breed. You want them to breed so that they can, work in your farms and your industry. So having happy people that are not too impoverished is a good thing. So improve that standard of living, which you see here. The standard of living is going gradually upwards. That's a good thing. Journal. Those are like missions. Those are things that you can do to I don't know. I have no idea. What the hell? Oh, it triggers an event. Whatever. Outliner. I don't know. I actually don't even know what that is. Those are all the countries in the world. And even though we're only been interested here in little Madagascar, there's all kinds of other things that are going on in the world at the same time. Like there's some wars going on over here. See that here's these little huts, and they're shooting each other because they're unhappy. Lots of death going on there, and of course in that's interesting. Great Britain has conquered Sakhalin, or part of Sakhalin, which normally it's Russia that does that. But anyway, so there's all kinds of stuff going on in the world. Austria is at war with Prussia, it looks like. But of course, we are little Madagascar, and so we're mainly our main concern about the rest of the world is to make sure they don't conquer us. That is Victoria 3. Now once you've done a playthrough as Madagascar, it's actually called the Marina Kingdom. Then I move on to like Chile. Again, the thing about Chile is that you're starting off with some issues that you need to correct. There's some industries that don't have an outlet for their goods. You're starting to run into a deficit. Wood and fabric are too high. You need to bring that down, and so on. So once it's a good nation to play because there's lots of room for colonization down here. But you have to understand that if you play it, there's going to be some issues that you need to correct straight away to get on a positive cash flow and a positive development level. So anyway, that's all for right now. Until next time, hasta la vista. Adios.